Hello, everybody. Welcome to beautiful Olympia Park in Munich, Germany. We are about to bring you the Swatch Prime Line, one of the Diamond Series of the Freeride Mountain Bike World Tour. My name is Troy Mannering. I'm joined by Ryan Meyer, and we are going to give you some of the best mountain bike freestylers in the world throwing down here on this park. Ryan, great to be in the box with you once again.
Thanks, Troy. Nice to be back here in Munich. Olympic Park looks totally packed. We just had a very cool wakeboard contest happen this morning, and that was followed right from yesterday's big Street League skateboard event. So yeah, a lot of crowd out here this weekend for the Munich Mash, and now they're all gathered in the box here out at the lake for the Swatch Prime Line. Big shout out to Swatch putting this event on, and yeah, riders are very excited.
Well, we've got a great course this year. A few changes on the course this season. We're going to take a look at how they built it. There's 7 features on this course. It's 330 meters long, 2,600 cubic meters of dirt. It takes about just under a minute to get from the top to the bottom, and it's much flowier this year. The landings are much bigger, the jumps are much bigger, and we are going to see some incredible action on this course here. And before we get to the action, though, we're going to get you a pre-run as well as a course preview. And there you see that info I just gave you. 7 features, 330 meters long, 2,600 cubic meters of dirt, and about 50 seconds run time. And great weather today, too. Fantastic. Finally, we got a bit of sunshine. It was a little bit inclement yesterday, but today it is playing ball. So we're going to see some great riding, hopefully be thrown down by some of the best riders in the world. And here's our course preview.
Here at Swatch Prime Line 2016. Here's your GoPro course preview.
Heading into the first flat drop, which leads you straight into the first double to double.
Oh yeah, Drew.
Coming into the first berm, brake a little bit, into the first wooden step down, dirt landing, into the first jump, boosting, straight into the first step up hip, into the second step down, little roller into another straight double. This is into the fly out. You can do some fun nose wheelie stuff here. Sam Pilgrim, around the ladder bridge berm, into the last step down, before the showtime booter. Enjoy. Woo!
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, buddy.
Epic.
A sick course preview from a couple of great riders. Drew Bazanson there, along with Nicholi Rogatkin. I mean, these two guys can really throw down, and they do the commentary on the way down.
2 riders originating from the BMX world, transferring their skills and talents over into the mountain bike world. Bit bigger wheels, bit bigger jumps and courses, some suspension. But then another new rider we have here, Nicholi Rogatkin from France. He is the forerunner, and he won himself a spot to show his talents in front of the big audience here in Munich from an Instagram contest. They picked through hundreds of different entries, and he was awarded a spot to come and test out the Munich Mash course and do a little pre-run for the judges and the spectators here before the contest gets underway.
Eli's job here, basically having won that contest, is to go down this course before any of our pro athletes and give the judges an opportunity to test their scoring setup, make sure everything is even across the board. It's a very fair way to warm up our judges, as you mentioned, Ryan, as well as get our audience into it and ready for the big pros. And you never know, we might see this guy on the pro circuit down the road if he continues to improve. You said you watched him earlier on during this training and did a couple of nice threes up there.
Yeah, it's definitely a big, intimidating thing for a rider of this nature who's not super familiar with professional contests. But hey, starting off with a big backflip bar spin. That's a big professional level trick for such a rider, and like we were saying, not known. Whoa, flat spin bar. Taking note from Yannick Ranieri's originating of that flat spin X up. Very recognized Yannick Ranieri trick. Does another 3 over the box there. I believe that was opposite even.
Wow, that's a pretty nice pre-run here, and he's not quite finished yet.
Oh! Getting a little blown by the wind, it looked like.
Nutter butter on the top tube there, checking that right ankle, but he seems to be more or less okay, but I probably sprained that right ankle, but what an effort by Eli to come down that big course here. Great job.
That was a big gust of wind, must have caught him off guard there. So you see, maybe we can check in the replay. This is going to kind of foreshadow what's going to happen potentially with some riders. As we were saying, it basically goes in a complete U. You start at the very top of the tower, and there is going to be a difference in wind as to when you're finishing. It's a 180-degree track rewind, so you're going to potentially have, you know, a headwind at the top of the drop and then a tailwind at the bottom, or a right side wind and a left side wind. So it's really going to affect the riders mentally if they're able to kind of wrap their heads around where's the wind coming out, to check flags. But hey, another thing talking about wind and elevation.
Yeah,
one of the craziest things I've seen, and this is happening over Olympia Park. This slack rope line they have set up 60 meters above ground. I believe that translates to 197 feet, 65 yards if you're an American footballer.
197 feet and change. That's high enough, you know?
Yeah. My God. And they're not just tightrope walking. This is a slack line, so you'll see them completely bowing out that rope, springing and doing all kind of crazy tricks. But man, I could never stomach such a height.
No, I think I would be nervous up there. All right, there's our start list. The first 8 guys. We've got 15 in total that will be competing in this final.
And so as it's going from reverse seating order, as they qualified, Paul Genovese, Emil Johansson, the new young gun from Sweden, going into the 9th position. Logan Peat, who, hopefully he's going to be able to be on his game, but tweaked his back a little, didn't even land, like just had a real perfect landing, but somehow one of his muscles came a bit ajar in his back, and so he's a bit uncomfortable kind of going into the final rounds. Hopefully he's going to be able to deliver for us. He's one that we're always really excited to watch.
All right, another beautiful view from our cable cam and our first rider getting ready to go. Paul Genovese. 6 starts, no podiums, no titles so far. He's got to work on it, but the trend is moving up, riding for Mongoose Bicycles. And he'll be our first rider in contest format. Here we go.
Paul Genovese from Fernie, BC. West coast of Canada, a bit interior there. You can see he's doing it for SRAM, Chrome Eggs, Foxhead, Mongoose Bicycles, RockShox suspension. Paul has been a threat on the FMB World Tour for the last couple of years, but really pushed up his game last year. Picking up some new sponsors coming in to this 2016 season, and Paul is on the way. First rider drop in here today. 360 off the first drop. Flat drop, spin, difficult trick. Tuck no hander, nice extension on that first jump. This is just going to be
the presentation of the riders.
Correct. So they are going down
get
for
them
a
in
bit
one by one, quick.
Bit of a one-by-one excitement for the crowd. This is the new young gun, just turned 17 years young. Emil Johansson from Sweden. Second big contest he's ever done in his life. He's quite familiar with the slopestyle scene in Sweden, but this is a completely different level. And man, is this kid here confident on the bike. Another young man that we love to see in contest form here. Complete legend known in BMX, Drew Bezanson from Canada, T-Dot. He's out doing mountain bike contests now.
Nico Scholze wearing the German national team sweater. They just beat Italy last night. First time they've beaten Italy in international play in quite a while, so they're pretty stoked about that after almost 18 shootout rounds. Unbelievable.
That was the only German rider you're going to be seeing in this German final. Anton Thailander, another Swedish young gun. The prodigy child of Martin Soderstrom, who's made his own name in the sport. Now bringing a bunch of other riders, Max Fredriksson and Emil Johansson as well, to the circuit.
Comes from Uppsala. And here we have Mehdi Ghani. Oh, trending downwards a little bit. Mehdi needs to pick up the pace from Lyon, France. Just stepped into Hope's new sponsorship, as well as Mongoose, I think you mentioned.
Specialized,
excuse me.
Specialized. Yeah. And Mehdi Ghani has been on the slopestyle circuit, the contest scene, for a very long time, since I was still involved with it. But just within the last 3 or 4 years, he's been able to shine, and he's pushing up each year. So has some amazing finishes last year, working on some big banger tricks. And there is the fashion hipster of mountain biking these days.
Thomas Lemoine.
Thomas Lemoine from
Marseille.
Marseille. Trending right to the right. Anthony Missouri from Surrey, BC. Man, it has so much energy in his riding style and his tricks. When you see him flap those 360 whips around, or the flip whips, you really notice the aggression that he has. There's tons of skill and a very unique riding style. The man we were just talking about, the sore back, Logan Peat, going for a little warm-up run. Hopefully his back is going to be okay here. A man who has some incredible talents. Was plagued with a bad leg injury a couple years ago on the scene. 3 years of surgeries, and then finally back at it. Simon Gotziak, the guy who has such big motocross influence in his tricks. Finished the qualifiers 2 days ago with flip cliffhanger off that first jump.
Unbelievable. Max Fredriksson up next here on our intro runs.
And a rider who is definitely trending upwards in his riding ability in contests. Max Fredriksson has been a young gun last year. I guess gave over that Swedish young gun position to Emil this year, but still a man only 18 years young, I believe.
Nicholi Rogatkin.
And Nicholi Rogatkin. People were very questionable when he came into the scene, but not anymore. He's shut everyone up. So comfortable with those massive tricks.
Love that guy's name as well.
The spinner. Hopefully we'll be able to see that later today. I'm rooting for it. Torquato. Oh shoot.
Oh no, Torquato.
Torquato. Blown on the drop in. Man, that's tough.
Thomas Janot just going to have a look over the precipice there. See if Mr. Testa is okay. Looks like he's going to go back up and try and start again.
You see a rider go down like that on such an easy jump. Easy meaning that you just straight jumped it, you didn't do any tricks or anything. He could have felt the wind definitely before. You see in the jersey of Reeder over there, kind of concerning these guys about the wind. Terra Kazuli as well on the drop in there. The founder of the FMB World Tour and Resolution, one of the largest managing services for mountain bike athletes. He's always there to lend a helping hand and make sure that these contest formats are okay with the riders and that the riders are in the most comfortable state of mind possible to make sure everything is taken care of for them. But it's difficult in situations like this where wind is a factor. This is a natural thing that we do not have control over, and unfortunately, as we keep building features higher and higher and going top of mountains, jumping higher and higher,
that these guys get up in the air. The minute they're in the air, they don't have any control surfaces. Basically, you know, their whole body and bike becomes like a sail. So if a gust of wind comes along, that's going to push these riders out of position very often. So this is one of the reasons why very often we'll see a delay in the start of a contest because of wind or weather factors. Now, if wind is steady, they can adjust for that. But if it's gusty like it is here today, then they have to pay attention and, you know, try and guess when it's going to be okay to go.
Exactly, Troy.
All right, our last rider going to drop in for this intro run here, Brett Reeder. And unless we get Torquato Testa back up for one more go at it, would be a bit unfortunate not to let Torquato go, because this would be also basically a warm-up run for him, even though they've been training for most of the day.
Yeah, they did have an hour and a half delay between practices and these warm-up runs, so it would be nice for them to all be able to go down, especially coming off a crash like this, just on something that's supposed to be a warm-up. it's kind of playing with your mind. It's a bit of a mental thing, thinking, okay, yeah, now I have to drop in for one of the biggest runs possibly of the year. And Torquato as well, he just solidified his kind of positioning here on the Diamond Series. He showed that he could make it into qualifiers very high, had some massive tricks, and I'm sure he was in a good pace for finals.
Oh, wow.
Popping that super easy straight drop backflip.
One thing that's very important to note, folks, is this is a diamond event. So there's a pretty large score that's going to be available here for the Diamond Series in order to become world champion on the Freeride Mountain Bike World Tour. So the points that the guys gain here are also very important. So it's not like they can't just say, no, I'm not going to ride. Obviously, safety is going to be a major proponent of how these guys determine whether or not it's going to go or not. But you know, this is something that Tarek and his crew at Resolution also take into consideration when they're putting these events on.
And as you can see there, during that flat bottom after the step up, coming into that last step down before the big 10-meter jump there, Brett is doing his best to get the crowd excited.
All right, so these are the guys that we are more or less calling our favorites. Nicholi Rogatkin, Thomas Jeannon, Brett Reeder, Torquato Testa, as you just mentioned, Ryan. He's on the upwards swing. Nicholi Rogatkin is a guy that seems to be able to get himself into the final rounds every single time with a more or less nice qualification run, and that absolutely explodes in the finals. But he's got some big competition up against him today with Thomas Jeannon and Brett Reeder as well. So it's going to be an interesting event here, and we're just going to keep a real close eye on the wind as well as this day progresses.
So this is the traditional two-run format. The riders have broken down. There was 23 invited, and they did the qualification round with 15 moving through to the qualifications. Here's your contest format. 15 athletes then have made it through to these finals. 2 runs, best run counts with a maximum score of 100 points.
So no average runs, as has been done in the past. It's best run count, so they have the opportunity with 2 runs, if they make a mistake on run number 1, to come back and do better on run number 2. But that being said, best is not to make any mistakes at all.
And a new addition, actually, we have to the runs here. Instead of having a best trick contest, a lot of times we're just doing best trick of the run or potentially another best trick afterwards. Swatch has delivered the Swatch Fan Award, and the award is a best fan action. So that is going to be how loud the crowd is able to get for a rider, and a rider is able to pump them up as they're going through that middle section, like we saw Brett Reeder do earlier there in his pre-run. Really get the crowd going, and that is going to be a nice prize purse of $1,500. Winner takes all for that. It's going to be measured on the Swatch new Touch 02 watch.
The technology in the Swatch watches is coming a long way, and the Touch 02 watch is going to be keeping a close eye on how this crowd reacts to all of these guys as they come out on course. Also, big shouts go out to our media partners here, BR Puls and Süddeutsche Zeitung. We get those rather important partners in as well. And there are our live commentators up on the box. And now we're going to meet our judges. And we've got a really, really high-end group of judges here. Alex Dropsy from France is our head judge. These guys have a ton of experience, and they're going to be keeping a close eye. It's Alex, actually, it's his job to keep an eye on everything that's going on with the other 4 judges here.
Yes, being the head judge, he oversees all the judge ruling, makes sure that everyone's voice is heard. All the scores come in perfectly. Dave Slutok as well in the mix there.
Nico Berthier, BMX legend.
We have an international field here, of course. Colin Duncan from Canada.
good Canadian kid.
And wrapping it up, the last, David Clayworth from the United Kingdom, who is no longer part of our
Look at those beautiful boxes up there, right in the middle of the action. How fantastic would it be to sit up there, and we see Guido Heuber and Torsten Pulloch down there doing the moderation for our on-scene audience. These guys keeping it live for everybody down there. A couple of great masters of the mic.
Huge audience turnout here.
Huge audience, pretty awesome.
Very nice to feel that energy rumbling through the hills. If you're just joining us, we're here live at the Munich Olympia Park in the former capital of Munich, Germany, where this plaza was built in 1972 for the Olympic Games. Quite progressive architecture, I would say so myself, for the early 70s.
For its day, it was very ahead of its time. Still is, actually.
Yeah, very beautiful facility that facilitates many different sports activities, championships, world, international, and national, as well as sporting events like this. Has some cool lakes that grant us the ability to do wakeboarding contests at the bottom there, and all different types of outdoors activities, fun for the whole family.
It's a meeting place for Munich, basically. You can see on any given weekend when the weather is nice, everybody is hanging around the Olympic Park here in Munich.
I didn't notice it, but that was just focused on Sam Pilgrim.
Yeah.
And Daryl Brown, who was not actually in this contest, and as well Matt Jones. Three Great British riders. Just coming out here privately to watch their friends ride. Sam, unfortunately, was not able to qualify. I believe finished maybe 18th in the qualification round. Wasn't able to completely do the run that he was looking for, but a man who was able to complete a run, and his first run on a Diamond Series contest, Nico Scholze. His parents were watching him as he was making that perfect qualification run. Super excited at the bottom.
Funny, I just noticed a mini sticker on his helmet for Mini Kleinfeld, who is actually a motocross mechanic. He's often traveling the world with guys like Rob Adelberg, who is a top-level freestyle motocross rider, and I'm guessing that Nico is also participating frequently in motocross freestyle events or motocross events, and has Mini as a mechanic nearby. So there you go. The official call is we are on a wind hold until the wind does die down a little bit. We have been dealing with inclement weather all weekend long. Yesterday, when we were supposed to run this contest, we did have basically biblical rainfall. I mean, it was bananas. And unfortunately, we weren't able to run the full contest yesterday as planned. And today, we are looking at beautiful blue skies, a couple of clouds up there, 20 degrees. Unfortunately, the wind is coming out of the west at about 18 kilometers per hour. So it's not steady, it's gusting, which is one of the reasons why we do have a wind hold. We're going to see if these guys can drop in shortly, and we'll just bide our time until there's maybe a little less wind happening here.
So you can actually see up at the very top of the screen, there's the tightrope walker. And he's gone a bit off course now, thanks to the actually a very, very cool glide cam we have going on there. Okay, now just to give you a little bit of action during this pause, we're going to show you the top 3 runs from qualifying. Coming at you from Fridays. The Quattro Testa, the man who we just saw unfortunately get blown and crash from the wind on that start drop. Reigning from Italy, doing it for Rose Bikes, TSG, Ion, and the beloved CP gang. check what Easy did on Friday. Flip off the flat drop. 360 tail whip coming into the next jump. Torquato Testa has a lot of tricks, but he isn't one to be able to hold it usually in runs. He's really working on that, on his consistency, and it has proven itself to be very effective. In that qualification run, huge truck driver off that flat drop, or off that kicker drop there, and a beautiful cork 720 opposite tail whip. So that is the ambidextrous way of spinning a tail whip there. It'd be like riding with your left hand on an essay almost. Backflip on that big drop. Huge, perfect double flip. Massive run full of massive combination tricks. Torquato Testa was able to really pull it together. And that solidified him a spot in, I believe,
13th place for, well, he got 3rd place in the qualification yesterday, which means he'll be riding in 13th today.
Yes, so he is. That actually gives him the advantage. That's why we do the re-rack, so that you're able, the rider who rode best is able to watch the entire field go and see what he needs to do to make his score better than theirs. But however, it is going to be a re-rack format for second runs here at Swatch Rocket Air. That means that it's going to be all up to first runs, see who has the privilege of watching everyone go next. That means, for instance, Brett Reeder could crash in his first run, losing that last drop-in spot, and then he'll have to just put it all on the line without knowing if that's going to be the winning run or not.
All right, next from our qualifying yesterday is Thomas Jeannon. He ended up in 2nd place. Plenty of adjustments on that TSG helmet. Normally not needed. But he's one of those guys that has just such a super smooth, styly, flowy way of riding. I really like his style.
Yeah, a lot of riders, generally, they've worked out their style early on in the game, but Jeannon came out and won the Red Bull Joyride in Whistler, BC years ago, and ended up actually perfecting some crazy stylish riding style long after that. I believe when he started moving to the south of France and riding so much with the Southern Frenchies. And man, he is one of the smoothest and collected riders on the circuit. Everything is so calm and perfectly dialed. He's perfecting all his switch variations. It just looks amazing watching this guy ride any time of the day.
And it's also amazing to me in situations where you see some riders struggle to get the amplitude they need over some of these jumps. He can just boost it better than most other guys. It's amazing.
That is a nice thing about some of these riders who are just so confident on their bikes. It just comes so easy to them, and that's why they are the top of the game, the absolute best professionals in the world you will see here today at the Swatch Rocket Air.
I think you mean the Swatch Prime Line. Ryan's having a heart attack next to me, but it's okay, Ryan. It's all good in the hood.
Thanks, Swatch, for making my tongue twisters more difficult.
Yeah.
Check out that new Canyon Stitch 720. Ah, that's what he was going for. We all wondered, why did he only do a flip on the last jump in his qualifier? He was going for a flip bar there. But Tommy G, the Belgian, French expat.
Well, 91 points, solid score. All right, here's the man that topped the rankings from the qualifications yesterday, Brett Reeder from Canada. You can see he's got plenty of podiums, titles, and starts to his name at such a young age even, so a solid rider. Expect to see some beast mode here from Brett Reeder. Again, we're just showing you the top 3 runs from the qualifying while we wait for the wind to die down here. This was from Friday afternoon here at Munich's Olympic Park.
And if you're not used to watching the contest here, check out the rider's shirt before they're going in. You can notice if it's gusting, it will be blowing, flailing, but if not, then it's usually good conditions. And that's what's happening right now here for that qualifier. So you can see the difference between this and when the riders are going to be dropping in when you show you the live feed. And that's really a huge mind factor for these riders starting the finals.
Wow, big front for Brett Reeder there. Cork 7, super nice.
And you see Thorsten calling that the opposite truck driver there. Backflip bar to tuck no hander. Canada represent. This was on Canada Day, so
yeah, right.
Nice to see the boys on top. Happy belated Canada Day to all you expats.
Love the amplitude on that front flip, tucks it up so nicely, and then he just spots that landing and puts 2 wheels down solid.
Wahnsinnsperformance und dafür wird er hier belohnt.
93 points from Friday's qualification for Brett Reeder. So the young Canadian basically topped it by 2 solid points over Thomas Jeannon, and he is expected to do well. As we saw earlier, he is one of the favorites for today's action. As mentioned, we are giving you the final today as opposed to yesterday, but you can see here still on a wind hold as it is quite gusty up there, plenty of wind, and the guys will be discussing this non-stop at the top there to make sure that they ride when it is possible to ride, but they don't want to risk themselves because, as we did mention earlier on, you know, if you get caught by a gust of wind when you're flying through the air, there is no chance for controlling the situation. And basically, you are in, God's hands then for the landing.
It'd be nice if maybe someone would invent some wind diffusers for courses. Maybe that's something.
Did he actually break his ankle?
FMB wind diffusers.
FMB wind diffusers.
I mean, this is a consistent problem through slopestyle. Maybe that would be something.
Hello everybody, and we are back. The Swatch Prime line here at the Munich MASH, and the start list is up. We're ready to go. My name is Troy Mannering, joined by Ryan Meyer. Ryan, we've had a long delay today, but it looks like we're finally going to get underway here.
It's been a long day of waiting this weekend. Yesterday we tried to run the finals after the qualification round had ended on Friday with perfect weather. Woke up Saturday to thunderstorms. So yesterday we had to postpone, and today it was sunny when we woke up, but when we wanted to start the contest, wind gave way, and now it has pushed us back as far as 7 p.m. But 7 p.m.'s here. Looks maybe a little gray, but at least the wind has gone away for the riders. They've all made it through the course during the break here. They're all a bit warmed up and ready to start the finals here.
All right, our first rider will be Paul Genovese from Fernie, British Columbia, Canada. As you like to say, rider in the half shell in this case.
Rider in the half shell. Paul dropping the mouth guard in, making sure he has that concussion protection. The crowd has topped it out. Most of them have stayed in the grandstands of the grass loamy hill. They're waiting for Paul to drop in and make this slope-style Munich event happen. Waiting a tiny bit for a wind gust. Looks like he has somebody down there on the bottom the drop telling him how good the wind condition is right now.
Yeah, this has been a problem all day with the wind the way it has been. Guys got to be real careful because these drops are pretty considerable. And,
Logan Peat is his wingman down there at the bottom telling him how it is. As we were mentioning, I had gone up to speak to Brett Reeder, judging for the riders there. He's saying that in the pockets in between some of the jumps, especially in the gaps, in between the drops, the step down, the big one there on the 10 meter, you're getting huge different gusts of winds that you're not feeling while on the starting tower. So that is why Logan's sitting down at a different elevation from Paul, so he's able to tell him what the wind is doing. But Paul is ready to drop. Run one, here we go. 360 bar spin. Setting things. Big pace there. Tuck no hander and bar spin off the next jump. Two combination tricks right out of the gate. Paul Genovese on a good run here. Tail up on that step down feature. Back for bar spin over the next jump. What does Paul have coming up into the step up hip? Nice tail whip up. Makes it in. Into the step down. Big bar spin. Flying up into this next one. Double tail whip. Paul Genovese. No manual bar. Late bar up. See the sun racing through those beautiful clouds there. Flowing right into the step down feature. Back flip off the step down. Looked like he was going for a tuck no hander, but coming out in a huge back flip. No foot can for Paul Genovese out the Fernie BC low.
That was a great run from Paul Genovese. Good that he waited when that he did wait and had a little bit of help from Logan Peat down there. Let's take a look at this in replay as he goes for that big truck in.
Yeah, haven't seen him do a truck driver off the flat drop this year, so there we go. Flat drop truck driver starting it off, especially a lot of intimidation as you're ready to spin off that flat drop where they're saying you have the most wind conditions at the highest point of the Munich hill here. And then that nice back foot, no foot can. Unique trick, not a lot of riders are doing.
It's almost like a super can.
Jetzt sehen wir, was bekommt von den Judges. 69, 7, Paul!
So Paul, the first rider, a lot of pressure on his shoulders to make it down course, and that's kind of set the pace. He had a nice one in the bag. But here's a young gun. He maybe hasn't even been phased enough by the wind yet. Doesn't know its real consequences.
Yeah.
Only newly 17 years of age from Sweden, Emil Johansson.
Youngest rider in the field.
Starting it off again there with a 360 bar spin into an opposite double tail whip. That is going the opposite way. Regular tail whip on that step down. Can't believe this kid's confidence and ability to throw these tricks around at such a young age. It's something that masters have taken decades to maneuver. 360 downside 1 foot can there. Oh, going for the triple truck driver, holding in at 2. Nosebone 360 up. Checking something on his bike. Looks like he's checking his pedal tension. Bit weird. Hopefully everything's okay. But Emil dropping into this last step down feature.
Double bar.
Spin to late bus. Big flip whip.
Oh, yeah.
Emilio Johansson, man, I said it before, the kid's riding is like, he's been doing this for decades. He's only 17 years old, and his confidence and ability to throw those tricks on. Look at that opposite double tail whip right out of the gate.
The smallest problem there was the slip pedal, really, and the rest of it looked really good. Plenty of time on the landing there as well on that backflip bar.
And 1, 2, going for the third bar spin, but thinks, okay, no, maybe I don't have perfect jump. I don't have the perfect timing for that. I'll hold it off for next round.
Incredible. Great run from Emil Johansson from Sweden. Just 17 years young. As I said, the youngest rider in our field today.
Such a matured riding style as well. It's phenomenal to see this kid come out bust on scene this year.
74 points after 2 riders so far. He's got the top spot. I'm not sure how long that's going to last, but he'll be happy about that right off the bat. Next rider up, Drew Bezanson from Canada. Good Canadian kid. Jumping from the 20-inch wheels to the 26-inch wheels here. BMX legend moving over to mountain biking and Definitely showing some serious skill on the big bike.
Basically the third time he's ever even ridden this bike. Strange to say, but yeah, a lot of...
Whoa!
Going for that backflip, Superman clicked that extension, but almost didn't get back on the bike. Cork flip on that next step down feature, backflip bar spin over the next jump, into the hip. 360 over 270, one-handed X up, opposite 360 there. Regular 3,
I think you threw a knack on that, actually.
Oh,
Huh?
and a 180 Indian and a fakie. There's that BMX influence. So Drew Bezanson, as we were saying, massive legend, X-Games gold medalist and due tour in BMX. But Drew Bezanson, here we go. Huge flip whip off that last jump. Said he's just having a lot of fun out here. He has some more tricks that he's able to do, but just maybe hasn't had enough time on the bike to bust them out. But pretty good for one of his first major mountain bike slopestyle contest, making it into the finals.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan. He was dealing with injury with his leg or something, and wasn't able to compete as well as he'd like to at the last contest, but managed to sneak in a wild card for this event.
He had unfortunately had a stupid crash right before the Swatch Rocket Air in Switzerland, in Switzerland, and ended up dislocating his shoulder. And then you're right, came back, did the BMX contest for a bit, and then had a little bit of a leg injury that made him not be able to do as well as he wanted at 2.6. But he solidified a wild card spot. I think it's a good one. It's a deserving one. He's a very humble and nice guy to have on the scene. Great for publicity as well.
Yep.
So yeah, we welcome him with open arms, as we say. Drew Bezanson, though, 77.0.
Whoa, there you go.
First spot right now, as 3 are held down.
All right, next rider, Nico Scholze from Germany, from Filderstadt.
Score to beat is a 77.00. Judging from the riding he was doing in qualification and looking at his practice, Nico Scholze has a lot in the bag of tricks that he hasn't yet shown to the Munich crowd here. Let's see. 360 on the step down. 360 tuck no-hander over that next jump. Really hard trick to do, especially in the wind. Big backflip off the step down, flying into the next large double. Backflip bar spin to tuck no-hander, perfect combination. Great extension on that tuck no-hander. The judges are really gonna love to see tricks like that executed. 360 on the step down, backflip tuck no-hander over the next jump. Oh, for the front flip.
Oh yeah, he almost goes over the side rail on the landing though.
Oh, he's a bit bummed out because he didn't get the best rotation on that. As you saw, he was riding up the lip, trying to adjust the foot position on the pedals. His heel was a bit in the wrong spot. Didn't quite get the perfect snap that he wanted. Maybe he was a little too late. But nonetheless, there was no crash, just a bobble. Foot dabs are docked quite heavily, but not to the extent of a crash. But here we go, Nico Scholze dropping into the last half of the course. Back up, tuck no-hander on the step down. Huge trick off that drop. And a huge backflip
Oh
tsunami.
my goodness! That was insane. Even the guys on the top are shaking their heads at that one.
We can almost call that a kiss of death. I believe his head was in between the front wheel there. Yeah, visor hit and all.
Yeah, that was insane. The only thing that bugged me about this run a little bit was that he repeated quite a lot of the tuck tricks. You know, the tuck no-hander is definitely cool, but having it in the run 3 times, the judges are going to look at that and go, okay, need a little bit more variety here.
That is true, but he did do them with combinations. As you saw, there was a 360 tuck no-hander, then a backflip tuck no-hander to bar spin. And yes, you did say there is another backflip tuck no-hander, but that was off a huge step down. So the judges are going to see the massive variation. But look at that.
Great view right there where that visor got banged.
You're more the FMX expert than me. What would you call that one?
That's definitely a kiss of death because that helmet kissed that front wheel. There's no doubt about it.
So kiss of death backflip. That's almost one of the world first here at the Swatch Prime Line 2016 by Nico Scholze, your one and only German athlete in the finals today.
And what makes that trick pretty incredible is that the grip strength you need in order to tweak that bike back, and like you were mentioning yesterday, the core strength to bring your body back. So those two things combined to just get back on that bike is pretty incredible. 68.25. He's ranked in 4th place at the moment, so he is sitting at the bottom of the ranking as the 4th rider there. Next rider, Anton Thelander from Sweden.
So as you can see, he was below the 70 mark. He does know that that is going to be the big downfall of his run, that front flip where he ended up messing up the pedals. If he's able to clean that up, I'm sure we're going to be able to see him in the top 5 potentially if he is able to get a nice run through.
All right, at the moment, the score to beat, as you see, is 77 points. That's owned by Drew Bazanson. He's at the top of the leaderboard.
Oh, Anton Thelander, first guy to see do a backflip off of that flat drop.
Wow.
A trick known to be absolutely impossible only 4 years ago. Anton Thelander doing it right out of the gate here. His beautiful clean lander style.
Plenty of variety in this run too, I like it.
Opposite dump 3 off that step down. Little cork down, flip bar. Nose manual 360 or nose bonk 360 bar up the step up, getting his composure a bit as he comes into this big last step down feature. Anton Thelander, run 1, let's see what he has. Big backflip off that step down and a huge flip whip. Oh, over rotating, over jumping on the last jump. Anton is bombed.
Gets crushed on that landing.
Oh, his parents are in the crowd. Girlfriend out from Tawas in BC, actually. Think about that one. That's where I'm from. Never meet people from Tawasin. Anyways, Anton, always a smile on his face. Hopefully he's able to get back up for run 2. Make that one count.
Yeah, you can see he over-rotated that tail whip 3 as well, just slightly. Didn't seem to bother him too much, but the rest of the run looked really nice.
So as you see, there was that backflip tail whip on the middle section jumps. Coming up into this last jump, backflip opposite tail whip, but ends up just over rotating or over, maybe had a bit too much speed coming into that little sideways and ended up pressing the eject button late as there was nothing left to do. Super unfortunate. But if he is able to clean all the rest of that up,
that's
very
a stellar
solid run.
Yeah.
All over the map with trick difficulty and trick variation.
Wow, Anton with 55 just because of that last crash, pretty much guaranteed. That's too bad for him. All right, our next rider, locked and loaded at the top, Mehdi Ghani from Lyon, France.
Mehdi Ghani from France. Rider said it really stepped up his game in the last year. His backflip off the flat drop, front flip tuck no hander on that next jump. Huge difficult trick to do so early in your run. Big backflip on the next jump. Backflip bomb spin and tuck no hander. Big combination trick from Mehdi Ghani. Nice
this is a run.
Dumped it in. 360 bar spin off the next jump. Floating into a backflip tail whip and in the step up, huge front flip up the step up for Mehdi Ghani. Cleaned that entire section, no bobbles. Great riding from the Frenchman.
We mentioned earlier that Mehdi Ghani was on a downward spiral, but this doesn't appear anywhere like that at all. This is probably the best run we've seen so far in the day.
Oh yeah, huge corner 720 on the last jump. Mehdi Ghani couldn't have done that better. That was the run he wanted. That was executed perfect, and on first run after all the such wind conditions and the mental game that these athletes have had to go through, let's just take a look back. Flat drop backflip, perfect. Front flip tuck no hander, great snap, great execution.
If he doesn't get top spot after this run, I'll be surprised.
And that backflip was the low point of his run. As you see, everything else had combinations galore. 360 bar spin out of that dish feature, backflip tail whip, and then into the step up here. One crank and a perfect snap onto that front flip. That is how you do it on the fly out fronts. Backflip tuck no hander, not just a simple backflip, but combination trick on the step down, pumps in, and the first riders see the biggest trick done off that last jump, that cork 720.
That was a nice run from Medigani. That is definitely a points grabber. He should be on top. Let's see this here. There's the count up. 85.5, your new leader. There you go. Top spot. And the new score to beat, 85.50. Nice job, Medi.
So no surprise there. Medigani taking top spot after 6 riders have gone down. But
another French rider coming up from Marseille, France, Thomas Lamoine.
A very good friend and comrade. The guys ride together so much in the south. As well, going to Yannick's training facility that he has there. But it's contest time, and this is what pays the bills. So Thomas Lemoine just waiting for his turn to drop in. Determination and focus in the eyes. See what he has. In qualification, we saw a lot of spin variations out of him. You're noticing most people are going to flip variations. Thomas Lemoine was doing some very difficult spins. Let's see what he has. 360 X-up starting it off. Front flip, going for the tuck hander. I think I saw the hands let go a little bit, but didn't quite get it. So front flip off that jump. 360 tabletop. Great click with the table. Back foot bar to X-up. Huge amplitude. That's something the judges as well are going to really need to note. Trick difficulty, amplitude, fluidity. Look at that. Unique trick. The cannonball to bar spin. Not many people are doing that, and it's such a hard trick, actually. May look somewhat easy to some people, but the cannonball is a really difficult one. 360 bar on the step down. Oh, and a huge 360 tug no-hander to late bar spin.
Slightly over-rotated.
Beauty combination there.
You're right about that amplitude, though. He had plenty of it through this whole run. Judges are really going to be digging on the fact that he gets up there. There's that cannonball to late bar, and that's so difficult, like you mentioned, because you're basically throwing that bike away from you. You're only grabbing onto the seat, so you've got to depend on everything being away from the bike evenly, and if you kick a pedal or push a bar just slightly, then everything gets off kilter, and that's what makes it so difficult. Little over rotation on that final jump, but a nice run from Thomas Lamoine. Also brave wearing white jeans during a contest.
Yeah, Thomas is always kind of set new jeans for a contest. We saw him the leopard print and zebras last year, then going into some camo stuff. 82.50, second place. It's a bit of things he's gonna have to clean up, but looking pretty good. We see Brett Reeder out there deer hunting in the woods. Doing it for Anthony, Missouri, as he's on course waiting to drop in. Anthony looks like he's just going for it. Balls to the wall. Here we go, West Coast. Anthony, Missouri, tell about the first drop. Front flip on the next jump.
He sucked that one in. Is it just me, or is he wearing? Is he running 26.5 wheels on that bike? Oh! No. Missouri goes down. He's a tough kid. I think he'll be okay, but it looked like he got caught by a gust of wind. You can see the trees in the background there. They're blowing a bit, and I think Missouri might have had a little bit more youth and vigor than, let's call it, common sense on that run by jumping in so quickly. Let's watch this again.
And see, he landed at the very top of that back foot bar, but he under-rotates the spin. I don't know if that was...
I think he got a gust of headwind there.
Honestly, from the very start of that run, it didn't look like the amplitude I'm used to seeing him ride, especially on this course. We've been seeing him go for 3 days now, and it looked like there was something up. So the only other thing is to see what the wind is like. And Logan Peat, though, I mean, we know he's not going to drop in if it's bad conditions, but things look okay. The long hair isn't gusting too much. So, yeah, we'll just have to see how things play out.
Let's not forget, folks, these guys have 2 runs. So, you know, the last thing you want to do is make a mistake on the first run. But if you do, you got to collect yourself, come back for run number 2, and make it happen then.
Just going over a few of his tricks in his head before he drops in. Every rider has a different way of doing it. You have to memorize it though. It's not just throwing random stuff anymore. This is very planned out.
Yeah, it's not the 80s anymore.
No. Okay. Opposite 360 off the flat drop there for Logan Peat into a 360 whip. Coming into the next step down feature. 360 off that step down. Really long and low jump. Backflip tuck no hander. Tail whip up the hip step up. Opposite 360 again off that feature. Whoa!
720. Oh wow, nice.
Mid-run and nose bump 360. Logan Peat, bam. That's the riding I like to see from you, boy. Logan coming around the North Shore skinny. 360 on the step down. Logan Peat, last jump on run one. Backflip tail whip for Logan.
He feels good about that one, and so he should. That was a great run. See if the judges agree as we take a look back here with the tail whip 3.
And that's 720 mid-run.
Almost looked like he struggled to get the start on that, though.
As you can notice, he doesn't spin a cork 720 like a lot of the riders we see. He just does a regular double spin 360, which is very difficult to do because you're not using that y-axis, we'll say. And
Uh-oh, getting all mathematical on us here, Ryan.
you have to have a bit more hip rotation, I suppose. And so yeah, I believe actually a regular 720 is more difficult than a cork 7. Maybe the cork 7 you have much more style, so that's where you get judged a bit better in senses, but that's how Logan does his 720s, like that. And yeah, it looked like perfect rotation actually.
Yeah.
88.
We got a new leader. Logan Peat takes over the top spot by 2.5 points. That's a good solid run from Logan Peat. We go back up to the top for Szymon Gociek, our Polish rider, our one and only Polish rider, in fact. But I think you were mentioning he spends a lot of his time in France, right?
No.
Or was that in somebody else we were talking about?
Yeah, Jeannot, sorry.
Oh, okay,
Spends
it was
a lot of
Jeannot.
his time in France, but yeah. Spends a lot of his time actually riding as well with his brother David, who is a professional BMX dirt rider, as well riding for Red Bull. They have a nice training facility in their yard.
It's nice when that can happen.
So Gociek, back flip, tuck no hander.
Wow,
Forward,
plenty of speed and amplitude as well.
450 up the hip there. 360 table, cork 7.
Oh! Gets a little squirrely on the landing though, but manages to keep it together.
Wow, and then he's gonna miss the trick up the step up, so that is gonna hurt his points a little bit, but you saw his head almost completely blow off the handlebars on that 720, but look, still a huge smile on the kid's face. I love watching him in a contest because he's one of the only riders who, no matter what the conditions are, how serious the situation, how bad he crashes, he's always still happy, and nothing seems to faze him too much, and that's a real nice trait to have in your riding.
Well, that's called liking your life.
Yeah, enjoying and knowing how lucky you are.
Being
but
thankful.
I believe huge
Wow.
Superman C-Crab, massive extension. We said that he has a huge influence, does a lot of motocross variations. Qualification, he started off with a backflip, huge cliffhanger, great extension as well. He's known for doing those massive double grab Supermans and the tsunami backflip. He was the first to do that on a mountain bike here, so look forward into the next 2 runs. Oh, almost blowing the hands off there, but still holding on. I'm sure he's going to get a good score as well. But there is a few things that Simon will want to clean up for run number 2.
Look at that commitment though, right there. Grabs the seat, pushes the bike away, full extension of the legs. There are freestyle motocross riders that would be proud of that one.
Ja, ganz klar, nach dem kleinen Hängenbleiber ist natürlich wieder ein paar Pünktchen weniger. Trotzdem ein Wahnsinn Superman Secret, den hätten wir gerne live hier von der Seite angeschaut.
Just waiting on our judges. Here we go. 73 points, 6th place for Simon Godziek. And I think due to the fact that he wobbled a little bit on that one landing is where they docked him a few points.
Yeah, and then he was not able to do the trick actually up the step up. So that is one jump miss. It's quite a big score deduction.
Max Fredriksson up next, dropping in, score to beat 88. Let's see if he can pull it off, the young man here.
Okay, Max Fredriksson starting it off strong with a 360 bar spin. Going the opposite way, 360 bar spin on the next jump. And then again, back the regular way, 360, then into that perfectly executed and caught flip whip.
Double
Top
tail.
side double whip. 360 tuck no hander. Oh, and the 360 downside whip. And nose bonk 3 up the step up seems to be a stock trick to do these days.
This is a spin it to win it run.
But such fluidity through these Swedish riders. Tail whip on that drop, one of the hardest tricks to do in wind conditions. Backflip, bar spin to tuck no hander, finishing it off on that 10-meter long jump. Fredriksson is pumped with that, hands in the air, stoked to get everything out of the way, and almost no bobbles at all.
Good safety run. Let's look at this again. Truck driver in, nice.
Driver. So that's the regular way he spins. Then this goes the complete opposite way, doing that exact same trick on the next jump. So it's like, when I say opposite, we have a natural way of spinning. So Max rides left foot forward and he's just regular, so he will spin to the right, meaning that his back foot on the pedals will be pushing his rotation around. If you do an opposite, that means he's gonna spin into his front foot, so that's to the left side. And that is so much more difficult, I can't even express it. These Swedish riders, however, they've mastered it so well that it looks completely natural.
It's almost like back in the day when Bob Burnquist was skating switch and regular, as though you know, both were natural for him. You couldn't tell. It was so difficult to call his runs.
Exactly.
Good run from Max Fredriksson. Järfälla. That's his hometown. Let's see. Wow! 89.25 for the young Swede. He is our new leader. That is a score to beat. Remember, folks, these scores are out of 100, so he is only a few points away from having a near perfect score as we get Nicholi Rogatkin logged in here. Boston Bruins all over his helmet there. I'm guessing he's coming from Boston. That would be just a wild stab in the dark.
Yeah.
So the score to beat is 89.25. Nicholi's had the bonus of being able to watch all these runs so far, and he is one of the top 4 riders here, so one of the last 4 riders to ride in this first run. Let's see what he's got in store for us.
Nicholi Rogatkin dropping in. Oh, fast plan.
Fast plan.
360 off the start drop, making it very creative. Nicholi is known for the huge tricks, so he's not going to have something really big there.
Oh! Triple tail!
Triple tail whip. Super late triple tail whip. I thought he was maybe going to go for just a late rotated double and snap triple around. Oh!
Cash roll!
Cash roll mid-set and front flip.
Oh my God!
As I was just trying to say, he was going to go for an easy one as a setup there, that tuck no hander on the step down. Woo! Nicholi Rogatkin on fire. Double tail whip on the step down.
Risking a lot in this run.
Oh, and a cork 720.
That was an insane run from Rogatkin, but what do you expect? This guy always has these mellow, halfway there qualification runs to get himself into the final, and then he explodes with something like that. That was incredible. Let's look at this again.
So checking it off, going a bit different than his normal style. Fast plan 360. First person I saw do that in contest was Brandon Semenuk at the Joyride slopestyle. 1, 2, 3. The first one was so slow, and then the second 2, I mean, I didn't at all think he had enough amplitude anymore for
He was
3
cranking those
tail
bars
whips.
to get him around. There's that cash roll.
Perfectly executed again, and then into that sniped out front flip, double tail whip on the step down. Double tail whip on the step down before you set up into cork 7 over the 10-meter long jump. Biggest jump on course, biggest drop on course.
two of the hugest tricks we've seen all day.
He's feeling happy about that one, though. I'm guessing the judges are probably going to pump him into the 90s with their score here. Let's see what they say. Wow, 93 high score. That is going to be a tough one to beat, but let's not forget, we have 3 riders still to come who just watched that run from Nicholi Rogatkin. Torquato Testa, Thomas Jeannot, and Brett Reeder, all of them have a chance here. And Torquato will be the first to try and beat that insanely big 93 score. Look at that.
Really harsh burn on his arm.
Nice raspberry.
In that first run. Torquato Testa, I'm sure he can put this out of his head. Backflip, tweak off that first flat drop. Whoa, cork 720 already at the start of his run. First jump, big tricks from Torquato. Backflip, 1 foot X up on the step down. Flip whip. Tuck no hander to bar on the step up, him there. Whoa, 360, a little bit over rotated, holding on to it though. Quick tuck no hander into bar spin, missing the extension there. The judges will be noting it. However, big combination tricks for the Italian rider coming up into the first half of the course. No pause at all. Let's see what he has in this last half. Backflip tuck no hander.
Just didn't get those hands away. The double backflip to finish it off. Oh! Gets in there for the dirt enema on the landing, though. Ugly, but he's okay. He got up right away. Double backflip to finish it off. Torquato Testa. That is a ballsy run right there.
Unfortunate, going right for gold at the very top. You saw he was charging a little hard. He was not giving himself enough time for some of the extensions. Maybe the adrenaline was pumping a bit too much, trying to get that crash out of the start from the very top out of his head, but a bit too eager on that double flip here and over rotates. Manual's out. Very easy crash from a double flip. Could go much, much worse from such a trick.
59.75. And that can be pretty much entirely blamed on that crash at the end. The judges score really, really hard when a guy crashes.
Yeah, it's basically considered a complete wipe of your run if you crash.
All right, 2 riders to go here. Thomas Jeannot, our Belgian Frenchman, locked in. Look at that, standings on the side, right-hand side of your screen, though. 93 points for Rogatkin. That's a big score.
Jeannot, backflip on the first jump.
Oh,
no!
My goodness. It's a little bit nose heavy and goes down hard.
Oh, Jeannot, that is so uncharacteristic for such. Wow, you saw that he didn't really have the perfect leg placement on that truck driver, but was going for it anyways. Triple truck he was looking at.
That's a rough crash as well, right at the very start, but
really,
that's the
really
risk
tough. Let's take a
when
look
you do
back
it
at what
at the start
happened
of
here.
an event.
3, 1, 2, and there went wrong. Oh.
One more angle on it here.
Something just happened with the hand placement.
He couldn't get that left hand back on. That bike kept rotating. He couldn't control it by using a bar tweak. And that's the reason. Just to give you a bit of perspective, folks, look how big that start ramp is compared to a man who is 6 foot. That is a massive start ramp.
You're looking at a start ramp of about 18 meters there.
All right, Brett Reeder probably got that crash going through his mind as well. And, you know, we talk about this often. When the guys before you crash, it's rough, especially if an injury happens. But luckily in this case, Thomas Jeannot walked away from that one. He'll go back up to the start, and Brett Reeder drops in.
And Brett Reeder drops in strong with that backflip 1 foot can. Whoa, look at the amplitude on that. Huge air. Whoa.
That was mega air right there.
Insane. I thought he was over rotating almost. Back bar. Cork 7 first on the rhythm section there.
Beautiful landing.
Decade up the step up feature. Opposite 360 bar on the next jump. Oh, backflip double tail whip,
Max slips a pedal, missing the trick up the next jump. Wow, but that was some huge difficulty tricks. Let's see how the judges are still going to reward him. There is one more run left, and it isn't finished yet. Run one, 360 double bar spin. I think that was double. That was so quick.
Definitely double.
And a corks. Oh!
Oh, no.
Wow, Reader went down. I think that was an opposite cork 7. Wow. Oh, it looks like he hurt his hand.
That doubles bar spin was Ryan Nyquist-like, you know, just threw it to the wind and hoped he could catch it on time. I think Reader's going back up to the top to collect one of his fingers. Let's watch this run again here. The look at the amplitude right here. Goodness gracious, that's at least 3 meters above the top of that ramp. Perfect landing. Did I just say goodness gracious? I did, didn't I?
Goodness gracious, G golly. Wow, I'm just trying to take this all in. Brett Reader and Jeanot had two very uncharacteristic flip double whip. It's not a huge jump, I'll say that. Super quick 3 double bar. And then that was an opposite cork 7. Oh, going down hard, man.
Yeah, he just didn't have enough distance on that. Got that front wheel on the knuckle of the landing.
Oh, too bad for Reader. Wow. I haven't seen him this low down on the grid 3-4 years.
Yeah, Nicholi Rogatkin right now in control of this event, though, with 93 points, which is not exactly surprising. But then again, you know, we didn't see the full and complete runs that we would normally see from guys like Thomas Chenal or Brett Reader. And I'm wondering, you know, how much the, you know, the headspace is been playing with all of the delays today and the wind and seeing some of your buddies go down and crash, and how much that affects the way that they're performing right now. You can see Brett Reader, Thomas Chenal, Anthony Mazziri, all of these guys with, you know, low scores. Normally we're seeing them way, way up on the riders list here at the standings.
And there is the sun beaming through those cumulus clouds.
Let's call them cumulus clouds, just for grins.
Don't know at all.
Cumulonimbus.
Yeah, something
Why
like
not?
that. Yeah, sure. Wow, Nicholi Rogatkin just checking out some highlights here. A double tail whip on the set down feature and into this perfect cash roll. Thinking about the difficulty, Nicholi Rogatkin got into the 90s, 93.0 here on first run with such tricks. What would have Brett Reader have gotten if he landed all of his, including that opposite cork 720 on the last jump? We'll just have to wait and see. Run 2's coming your way.
At the moment, though, Nicholi Rogatkin, who qualified in 4th, is your leader with 93 points. It's a solid score for him. That's going to be a tough one to beat. We do have second runs coming up. Great crowd still here on hand, even with the delays and the wind and the weather changes and everything. The people of Munich have come out and are enjoying a fine day here at the Olympia Park in Munich for this Munich Mash 2016. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast so far. There's still more action to come. Make sure you hang tight. We got second runs coming up shortly.
So here's your start list for run number 2. First to drop in is one who just had a tough crash, Thomas Chenot. Super hard triple truck driver attempt on the second jump there. Then followed by Anthony Missouri, Brett Reeder, and Anton Taylander, Torquato Testa, Nico Scholze, Paul Genovese, and Simon Gottsiak. That's your top 8, but man, those top 5 right there, the first people to drop in, those are the people who we're usually waiting to drop last.
Exactly. And that's what sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Just to explain that, folks, that what they've done is they've taken the standing order after the first runs based on their scores, and then they've reversed that. So that's what Ryan meant when he said a re-rack. So that's why Nicholi Rogatkin will be the last guy to ride here in run number 2. So he's definitely got the advantage now of seeing everybody else ride, knowing that he's got the top score.
Huge advantage, and that as well means that if he goes down and nobody has been able to top his score, then he doesn't have to risk everything and put it all on the line again for another one. He knows maybe he can just take it easy and go with his first run score, and that's going to be enough to take the win.
Also, don't forget to visit the Snapchat Swatch to check out up-to-date information and pics and videos of the ongoing competition here. You are guaranteed to have some fun with that. And for all of those guys out there that are unfamiliar with this that's going on, the Swatch Fan Award, and hopefully Thomas Chenot can come up with some good moves here for the fans.
Bam, 360 triple truck driver. Getting redemption there. Opposite 360 over the next jump. So he's had flat drop backflips, triple truck drivers and spins both ways. Double whip, double opposite truck driver, I believe there. 360 down whip or decade. Front flip, man, redemption start half the run for Thomas Chenot. He's on fire right now.
Redemption song. This is a great run from Thomas Chenot here.
360 tuck no hander, super late on that, but getting it around, and wow, oh no!
Oh no, what a fantastic run just to the final landing. Went a bit short. Thomas Chenot going down hard there.
Oh, taking a beating here.
Back on his feet though, and that is a big deal right there. Good for Thomas.
So quick after each other. Chenot, not characteristic for him, but man, such determination from these riders to have such huge crashes and come back and just do it for the crowd here. Taking a bit of replay, looking at things. 360 double bar there. That was Greg. And then into that decade. A 3 down, whatever you want to call it. And that 360 tuck super late.
Looked a little bit tentative on that.
Looked like he was really rear wheel heavy. And a super slow rotation on that cork 7, but pretty good rotation when he came around, just a bit short. That's what messed him up the most. Huge case on that. That's the hard thing about the cork 7 is you have basically 0 time to see if you're in line or not. It's just estimation when you come off the lip if you're making this. And, oh, really hard slide on his side down there.
Yeah, and again, that could be a bit due to the wind, although from our vantage point here, there is still a bit of wind, but not a ton of it. So it's up to Anthony Missouri to come back and try and better his 27 score and try and stay focused after a few guys have gone down.
Anthony Missouri starting it off with that tail whip. Then big boosted front flip. See what he has flying around that berm. Nice flat 360.
South last time. Let's see if we can keep it together this time.
Backflip bar, held it in, and great landing position. 360 into the top of the dish. Opposite 360 out. Backflip over the next jump. Tiny bit of a case. And going to be missing that next trick. But Anthony Missouri for run number 2. He's made it all the way to the bottom now. Backflip bar spin off the step down. One of the biggest tricks we've seen, huge, and that big flip whip finishing it off. Anthony Missouri, that flip bar spin, such a difficult trick to do and scary trick to do. Wow!
He's got his laces wrapped around the inside of his pedal there. Now we got him free. Just talking about the Swatch Fan Award before that first run here in seconds. The rider who gets the loudest and best cheers from all the fans will win the award, $1,500 plus a trophy. and that is measured with the new Swatch Touch 02 watch. So the audience members or not all, but many of them have that Touch 02 watch. So that is how that will be awarded and measured, as we see that last little tweak from Anthony Mazzeri here, as we see how his foot gets a little bit lost in the pedals there, actually. His pants were caught in the chain ring there. That used to happen way back in the 70s when we wore bell bottoms on our BMX bikes. Sorry, I had to go there. Yeah. Just focus on the show, Ryan. It just doesn't get any weirder in here.
Wait, what is this 70s you speak of? I was born in 88.
Scary.
Terrifying, maybe.
All right, Brett Reeder, our next rider.
Currently sitting 15th position. Brett Reeder, the man who has had the longest ongoing rivalry with the top man of our sport, Brandon Semenak. Or I mean, well, we shouldn't say it's top man, but hey, Brett Reeder's back in form here. Front flip, 1 foot can. Wow, that amplitude is so high on that front flip bar spin. Wow, I think I said front foot, 1 foot can. Of course, there's a back flip can. Cork 7.
Downside.
360 downside whip on the step up. Just single truck there instead of double. Oh no!
He misses the step up altogether.
Brett Reeder.
That's a bummer for Brett. He knows he's not going to get there. He'll finish up the run, but he's not going to have nearly the points that he needs in order to be able to catch up to Nicholi Rogatkin, who has 93 points. That's mega.
360 double bar there. And that opposite 720. Wow, perfect execution.
That really is a bit of a bummer for Brett, because without that one miss, he might have had a really, really high score.
Wow, that trick just blows my mind that he's doing cork 7s so beautifully like that. They look almost identical. Let's just check out that. Actually, I think his opposite ones look even better than his regular cork 7s, but let's just take a look. Flip, double whip. Wow, just threw him a bit too far to the left on the landing, but there actually wasn't a bobble except for completely missing that step-up feature. And then this cork 7, the opposite way. Wow, so perfect.
Amazing.
Absolutely amazing. Well, now it's all up to the judges. Let's see what happens and what they're going to reward him, because those are some massive tricks, huge difficulty, but he did miss one feature. Look of disappointment, actually. You can see he knows it's not going to be enough. He just kind of wants to get out there. I can feel it.
He wants to see that score so he can walk away from that position on camera.
Brett Reeder was sitting at the bottom of the pile with 50.75 earlier before dropping in for this run.
Yeah, we got some Brett Reeder fans in the audience. There we go. Attaboy.
68.75.
Well, that's a bit of a cheat on the judge's part, even though, I mean, there was no crash in that run. He just missed one jump. So more or less, it was a perfect run minus one jump, which is, I don't know, 68 for me feels a little bit low even. I don't know if you agree, but
I do kind of. It's just hard.
Anton Thielander up next here. He's got a first run 55. So currently he's sitting in 15th because of the new scores that have been calculated. He's got to get it through here.
Anton Taylander, flat drop backflip. 360 whip. Solid, super slow rotate 360 on that next jump. Backflip whip, coming up into that step up hip. The nice cord flip. Opposite 360 on the step down. Backflip bar spin, and into the step up.
Truck driver, nice.
Nose bonk truck driver, so a little bit of added creativity. Oh, and I think he saw the wind was a little gusty. He's going back to make sure everything is okay. This would be a good time for him to try and activate the Swatch. The new Swatch contest.
The Fan Award.
The Fan Award. That's the word I was looking for. Thanks, Troy.
Big tailwind backflip. Oh! But he goes down hard. He was a little bit to the right on the lean when he landed.
Wow.
Couldn't hold on to it. Anton Taylander, tough character though. He's up. He's okay.
Really hard crash again from Anton Taylander. Wow. Some very uncharacteristic riding from some of the guys here. We'll just take a break and lay out, let you see some good action from Taylander's last run.
It was really good to see that last. He was just a little bit too far to the right on the landing. You could see there, yeah, over-rotated.
Oh,
he got high-sided,
super
slammed.
hard head hit. Oh,
Hulk Hogan would be proud of that slam.
oh man.
That hurt my feelings.
Oh, that hurts me just looking at that. That was so tough.
All right, so Anton Taylander was just the man we saw. Torquato Testa. He had a testing run.
Torquato Testa back. Oh, and into that course 7. Oh.
Well, about the easiest crash of the day.
It's on the wood landing, so could slide out, but whew. Going to look back at Anton Taylander. He's trying to calm his brain right now. Super bummed out that this happened. A flip off a whip, really difficult trick to do.
That's the risk for a guy like pulling off a jump like that as well, Taylander, is that impact on the ground. You know, your head hits the ground, you risk a concussion, and that can sneak up on you as time goes by. So, you know, he's going to have to rest it out now.
Just completely over-rotated in all directions.
As far as crashes, though, that's pretty soft. I mean, you know, no crash is fun, but Torquato managed to slide that one out pretty cleanly. Nico Scholze.
Nico Scholze sitting in 12th position right now.
He had a great first run. He was solid.
He wishes that he wore some tinted lenses, but Nico Scholze, the only German rider in this final in Munich. 360 off the start drop. Parents are in the audience watching their son do the best he can here. 360 tuck no hander. Backflip, I couldn't quite see what that was. Backflip, something the sun was a bit overshadowing. Tuck no hander up the step up. 360X. Backflip tail whip. Nice execution and a 360X up the step up. Nico, keep that flow going. That's what the judges are looking for. And he does, coming into this last step down feature. Backflip tuck no hander. And into the last jump. That huge tsunami or kiss of death
I love
backflip.
it. That is such a great finish. The fans in the audience here, they are loving their home country flavor. And so are these guys right here. Go Nico. Awesome. Sounds like the gas can is getting a little bit empty though, hey?
Yeah, Confederate flag is not proud.
It sounds anemic right now, in fact. That's hilarious. What a great run from Nico, though. I like it a lot. Especially that kiss of death at the end.
A lot of diversity, and especially bringing a very unique touch to that trick. It's not just a backflip Superman. I mean, if you look back in the runs, Drew Bezanson did a flip Superman on second jump. That is a flip Superman. This is just extended way past anything you think of. Like full, basically horizontal with his bike in an inverted motion and completely bringing his body back to the bike there. Just so difficult.
And as I said before, I mean, that you need to have, like, he could probably crush cannonballs with that grip strength he's got there, because you have to hold on to those bars like hell.
Yes.
Because you don't have the bar extensions to push against your forearms to help bring that bike and you back into position. So as you mentioned, core body strength and of course grip strength has got to be unbelievable on this kid. Go and shake his hand. It's probably like Bob Harrow. He crushes your hand.
Bob who?
You're a funny guy.
ranking im Fan Award.
84, he improves to 5th place. Nice, great run by Nico Scholze. Super. Gut gemacht, Junge. All right, we're going to head back up to the top of our course. Paul Genovese, who got us started today in run 1, will be the next rider coming up from Fernie, British Columbia, Canada. Getting ready to drop in for his second run. 69.75 is his first run score. He's going to try and beat a 93. Can he do it? Let's see.
Truck driver off that first step down. Oh, oh, bummer. Missed the bar there.
Spin, yeah.
But hey, run's not over. Still going for a double bar flip. Tail whip. Double bus driver there. Double tail whip. Still going, still going. Good on you. Keep that momentum rolling, Paul. Backflip tuck, no hander off that step down. Huge trick. And a no foot can backflip. A little bit of a hang up.
More or less a clean run from Paul, except for the one mistake on that first jump where he wanted to do the bar spin.
He knows he's upset with that. It was basically great, except actually it was great. He just missed the trick, and he knows that's going to cost him huge because in the end he only did a tuck no hander off that jump. Where we're seeing other riders do front flip bars, flip whips, cork sevens. That isn't going to be enough for top contention, and he knows that.
This is great though, right here. What a view. I would have liked to have seen a pendulum can on that one with a can on each side. He actually drops points from run 1 to run 2, and I think that's because of that lack of the bar spin on that second jump off of the drop. All right, next up is Simon Gotziek. More or less a good run to start. He's gonna have to pick up the pace here though.
Okay, 360X. Yeah, and
There it
that's
is.
picking up the pace.
Cliffhanger
Backflip,
flip.
cliffhanger. Wow, one of the hardest flip variation tricks you can possibly do, and he does it right there and then. First jump in, backflip bar to tuck, no hander. Gosiak is on fire here. Polish rider seems to be in a hurry to get home for his wife's birthday tomorrow. Oh!
Squirrely, but he's got it. Gotsiak! Come on, boy. 720 on that jump before the step up. Back foot, 1 foot can on that step down feature. Oh, and a huge backflip. Condor, said the French.
And he'll have a seat.
And we'll chill for that 7-hour drive back to Poland. So taking a look back, started off great here. 360X into that huge cliffhanger flip.
Oh, early he gets into it too.
Not the biggest arm extension, but not the biggest jump to be doing such a trick anyways. Great to see his body fully straight. And that
Let's
cork
not forget,
7.
we're going on a step up on that one.
Yeah. On the cork 7 there, a little bit of a hang up, but still holds on to it. Just misses a trick off the next jump, and he knows he's not going to go for the biggest one possible, so just throws a backflip tuck no hander off the last jump. Finishing it off, that's run 2 for Simon Gotsiak.
Czemu, ale na tych korkach jebanych cały czas klinuję. Ja pierdolę, nie wiem czemu.
73.25, a slight improvement, but not enough to get him into the top 5. All right. On to our last 7 riders here. Emil Johansson from Sweden, the 17-year-old kid. Ranked in
8th. Out of all these top professionals, this is the second FMB contest he's done. 360 bar spin, opposite double tail whip. Wow.
Looks relaxed about it too.
Very perfect. Regular tail whip on that next jump. Huge diversity there. Backflip bar spin to 1 foot can. Massive extension. Slow, clean, and perfectly clicked. 360, 1 foot can there. 360 triple bar spin. Nose bump 3 up. Okay, what does he have on this step down feature? Friday was the first day he was officially riding a step down. And slow bus driver there. Backflip double flip, backflip double tail whip.
Oh my goodness. That was an incredible finish from the young Swede, 17 years old, and riding as though he's been on that bike 30 plus years. What composure.
Wow, man, I can't believe.
I don't think he can believe it either.
I can't believe how confident he is in his riding. This is something we don't see out of riders until they're, you know, in their mature prime of 23 or so. 17, man. Like what? He's been riding for 5 years maybe, and that's like since he started. Oh, I can't believe it.
Yeah,
so
that's
envious.
kids these
Whoa,
days.
was that 4? Oh,
No,
I
it was
wasn't
3.
paying attention.
It was 3.
Okay, okay. Look at so slow on that last bar spin.
Just chilling.
And here, 1, 2, flip doubles.
Boink.
Get the case, but like just absorb it with my legs as if nothing even happened. Wow. Wow. So stoked for him. Emil, how would you say it in Swedish? You want to try?
Emil Johansson.
Emilio Johansson? I don't know.
Emil Johansson.
Emil Johansson.
To be quite honest with you, I couldn't tell you how to say it in Swedish.
Emil Johansson. Emil Johansson. Somebody Swedish, call me out on this and say how bad I'm pronouncing or how good. Emilio Johansson. Emilio Johansson. I fuck. Oh, pardon my French. I don't know. I just don't know. It's tough.
I would stick with Emil Johansson.
Emil Johansson. Okay.
All right, let's see what he's got. Wow, 84.75. He improves to 5th place. A good 10-point jump for Emil Johansson. Good job. He's happy about that. Oh boy. All right, Drew Bezanson getting ready to go for his second run. He's currently sitting in 8th place. He's looking at, I don't know, I look a bit stressed actually.
Like me, you mean?
Yeah, a bit, yeah. The dock and pay that you're going to receive here. All right, Drew, come on, boy. Make us proud, buddy. Some of his BMX edits in the past have just blown my mind. And the fact that he's come over to the big wheel revolution, we'll call it moving to the dark side. It's pretty cool. You can see the Olympic Hall in the background there, the BMW buildings in the background there, the swimming pool, the Olympic Tower, the TV tower. Beautiful park here as Drew drops in.
Drew Berzanson, 360 bar. Big
Superman backflip.
Superman. Seeing him do that trick on the track there reminds me of days where Cameron Cole was competing in contests. Oh, looks like he was going for the tuck no-hander after that backflip bar spin. Opposite 360. I couldn't actually see what that was. Into a 180 Indian air.
Yeah, seat grab Indy.
To fakie. I think he did some kind of 360 variation. Backflip bar spin off of that last step down, and a huge backflip tail whip.
Nice. That was a pretty solid run from Berzanson. I like it. He asks, is that the same model everybody gets, or is it fresh? Nice tag on that one. I'd love to know what the heart rate is at the start, in the middle, and at the finish on these guys.
Yeah, that's an interesting survey, actually. And including crashes, where does it go?
Yeah, I mean, we've started doing that with the freestyle motocross, and it's very interesting. You notice the heart rate is pumping before they start their runs. When they're in their runs, it's calm. It's very strange. All right, Drew Berzanson, pretty nice run. He hangs around in 8th place, so no major changes for him. Next up is going to be Thomas Lamois from Marseille, France. Doing his best to keep those white jeans clean.
Thomas Lamois dropping in. Last chance to see if he can bump up from 7th place. Whoa! Over-rotating on that front flip. Bit too fast. Here's French rivals cheering him on in the background there. Flip double bar. Tuck no-hander to bar spin. 360 double bar. 360 double whip. Slipping a pedal, unfortunately. Nose bonked the bar up. A lot of
Still got a trick in there.
combinations. Oh, 360 bar on that huge step down. And a 360 tuck no-hander. He was wanting the bar spin like run 1, but
That was super floaty, that last trick, though. He had some amplitude.
Yeah, he was wanting to get a bar spin into the last bit of that, but just didn't quite get it. I think he wanted to go for the front flip tuck and couldn't take the hands off. That's why he had the bit more rotation than usual. Check out that truck driver, that massive 10 by 10 step down meter.
Whoop, there it is.
Oh, he caught his bar with his shirt.
Uh-oh, we got a dabber. Tag someone who dabs too much. Lamois.
Where did dabbing come from?
I don't really know. And all right, so Medigani will be up next. He actually had a really good first run. I liked how much style and let's say pizzazz was in that first run. Swatch Prime Line trophies.
Medigani. Front flip tuck. Back, double bar spin. Oh, slipping a pedal. Oh, Medigani. Oh, that's tough. He's going to be holding on to his 4th place score for sure after this one. To bump past that, he really needed to have a completely flawless run. Unfortunately, this one's just going to be for the crowd now.
Good finish, though.
Great finish. Can still go away being happy with that. Beautiful first run for Medigani. He's going to hold it right now. Currently sitting in 4th position with that 85.5. Next rider in the gate, actually. I was just watching him in practice. It came down off the step down feature, like on the first one. Perfect, completely perfect. And then he just pulled off to the side, and he said, "I think I just pulled my back." It was so bizarre.
We're talking about Logan now.
Yeah. And so he's had a ton of back pain for the majority of the day here. He's been going through massages and everything, trying to get it taped up.
4th place for Medigani. So no podium for him today, with 3 guys still to go: Logan Peat, Max Fredriksson, and Nicholi Rogatkin.
But pretty impressive, as I'm talking about the back problem of Logan Peat.
Yeah.
He's still sitting in 3rd place.
Incredible.
With 3 riders to go, I guess that means he's assured himself a 3rd place podium position. He's pretty happy. Big smile on the Canadian's face. 88.0 right now. Let's see if he can better it.
Okay, here we go. Drop it in, eh?
Logan Peat. Opposite 360 on that flat drop.
Out for a rip.
Regular 360 tail whip on the next jump. On the long step down, 360 bar.
Squirrely landing.
But still holding on, perfect and huge amplitude on that flip whip. Next jump, that is something that's really difficult if you mess up a little bit to keep momentum. Whoa, that's 720. Perfect, holds the pedals nice and strong, and a nose manual into that 360. That wasn't just really a bonk, that was pretty much a manual up. Okay, Logan Peat, 360 off the last step down feature. Last attempt, back flip, tuck, no-hander.
Not.
He wanted something a bit more, I think.
He knew it too. Yeah, he can't be too upset with a 3rd place. I don't think he's going to improve on his 88 points, but a podium spot is his nevertheless. So worst case for him today is he'll have a bronze. Great 720. Just a little hook up there, but managed to keep it together for that nose wheelie 3 up onto the step-up box.
Oh, was just wanting that bar. Look at his face. He knew right as soon as it happened. Oh, missed the bar spin. Too bad for Logan, because that could have been the run to bump him up.
81.5, no improvement, but he'll stay in third place with an 88. Nice job by Logan Peat this weekend, and now we go to Max Fredriksson at the top, the Swede, getting ready to drop.
Max Fredriksson sitting in second place at a Diamond Series event.
Not
wow,
bad.
He should be very happy with his performance. 360 bar starting. Opposite way, 360 bar. Let's see if he can get Nicholi Rogatkin a run for his money here. Fredriksson, 360 down the step down. Back foot tail whip, perfect rotation, huge amplitude. Double whip up that step up hip. Floating that 360, tuck no hander. Decade on the next jump, pedaling in, nose bong 3 up. Fredriksson trying to get the crowd award here.
He wants that crowd into it.
He wants that Swatch Fan Award, seeing if all those touch 02s are able to measure the magnitude of his chanting. Tail up on the step down. Fredriksson's last jump. Back foot bar spin, the tail whip.
Oh my God!
Oh!
Unbelievable finish by Max Fredriksson. Nice.
Oh, Maxi boy! Huge combination. Wow, that is such a tough trick to do. He didn't land perfect with his pedals, but boy, that's a huge trick to pull in a contest. Max not only doing basically the exact same as what he did in his last run at the top half, but he cleans it up. I mean, that should be reward enough if you can do the exact same difficult run 2 times in a row. But then he steps it up even more so right here. Cleans that tail up on the step down, pushes into the last jump, back foot bar spin, late tail whip. Just slips a pedal there. Just slipping a pedal with that hang up.
We'll give him that though. My. Stellar finish though. If it weren't for the pedal slip, that would have been an incredible final jump. Sweden represented very well here this weekend, by the way.
Yeah. They're trying to rival Canada, I feel.
Yeah, no less than 3 Swedes in the mix. All right.
And 3 Canadians.
Waiting for our judges' scores. We just saw a quick view of Nicholi Rogatkin. 89.25 from his run 1 will stand. He drops down points-wise for run 2, but he holds on to second place. So basically now, this run for Nicholi Rogatkin is a victory lap. He just needs to make it down to the bottom of the course, and he can celebrate. Question is he going to do Rogatkin style, or is he going to do Rogatkin style?
That's a face of Nico wanting to get a. Oh, that's a determined Nico face. I actually don't even think there's going to be anything chill in this run. It's Nico, man. I think we're just going to see everything.
For the twister.
Yeah, he's going for gold again. Wants to do the full one.
Yeah, why not? Hey, have some fun with it.
Maybe not. Maybe he'll hold back a little bit. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
I think he wants to set up for the twister on the last jump, though, because he's been talking about it. Do you think? Do you agree?
The victory lap though to Nico. Now hold on. Here we go. Last jump. Nicholi Rogatkin, we know you have that in the bag. What are you going to do for us? Oh! Twister!
Oh, no. Goes down on the twister, but it's not going to make a difference. Nicholi Rogatkin will live with a 93-point score from his first run. He is your winner here at the Munich Mash. The Swatch Prime Line points go to him. What a finish, though, for the crowd here. May well be that he gets that Swatch Fan Award as well. And the Swatch Touch 02 watch.
It looked like he was going a little slow into it. That he was.
There you have it, folks. That was run 2 completed with Nicholi Rogatkin taking the win. He held out from first run, sitting in first place with that 93.0. Went all the way through to the last man down. Victory laps awarded. And he tried to do it for the crowd here with that spinner, Cork 1080.
Unbelievable.
That was it. The 2016 Swatch Prime Line here at the Munich Mash, Olympia Park.
Separated from his bike real quick as well, yeah? Nicely done though, Nicholi Rogatkin.
Thank you.
Video for an interview now?
All right, folks. Well, that is done and dusted, and we have a look at the final results here. As you see, Nicholi Rogatkin, Max Fredriksson, and Logan Peat are your top 3. Medigani, Emil Johansson, Nico Scholze, Thomas Lemois, Drew Bezanson are rounding out the top 8 there. We'll take a look at the rest of the results here in just a second. Simon Godzik, Anthony Mazzeri, Paul Genovese, Brett Reeder, Thomas Chenot, Torqueto Testa, and Anton Thielender with the remaining spots there. Those are our final results at the Munich Mash for the Swatch Prime Line, the Diamond event. And we're going to get down there for our awards ceremony. And we do have, of course, our fan award coming up. That'll be the first thing that we give away. Now remember, this award is voted by the fans, more or less. The rider who gets the loudest and best cheers from those fans who are wearing the Swatch Touch 02 watch will get awarded of course, the Swatch Fan Award trophy plus 1,500 euros. So that's a nice little prize for one of the guys in our results list. The question is, who's going to get it? We'll find out briefly here as we have one more look at the beautiful Olympia Turm there, the Olympic Tower at the Munich Olympic Park, home of the 1972 Summer Olympics, and a destination for so many people in the Munich area when the weather's nice, and in the wintertime skating on the lake, of course. It's an amazing spot to have an event, and we have just witnessed a great event here with the Munich Mash and the Swatch Prime Line. So there you see Nicholi Rogatkin, winner of the Swatch Prime Line here. We're going to hustle these guys over for the awards ceremony. So the first thing we will award today will be that Swatch Fan Award. Just making sure all the guys are in place before we let you know who's, what, where, when, why, and how. This has been an FMB World Tour Diamond stop here at the Munich Mash, the Swatch Prime Line. And there you see Nicholi Rogatkin. He'll be the man at the top of the podium today. I'll tell you who the rest will be shortly. But the first thing we want to do is give away the Swatch Fan Award, and that will go to our German local, Nico Scholze. And he gets that fan award, and the fans were definitely on his side. Good job by the young man from Germany. Daniel giving him the big fist. That's a great trophy right there. And here we go. This is what got it for him, this jump coming up. Look at that. Incredible.
Perfect back to the pedals as well. Maybe those fans helped him a bit more at the bottom.
You think? I think they have the Swatch strapped to the horn. All right, now for our awards ceremony, here we go. Logan Peat, the Canadian, who had those back problems today because of a strange set of circumstances earlier on, takes 3rd place. And there you go. Look at those trophies. Buddy of mine, Daniel, made those nicely. He's making some pretty creative trophies these days. In 2nd place, from Sweden, 20-year-old Max Fredriksson. He takes the silver medal today. And of course, important diamond points on the Freeride Mountain Bike World Tour. That's some serious hardware that guys are wearing, hey? It's bling times 10 plus weight. And our winner today, from the USA, Nicholi Rogatkin, with an amazing run. In his first run, 93 points, absolutely incredible. Tried the twister for the fans here in the end. It didn't work out. Nevertheless, he stuck with those 93 points from run number 1, and he is your winner. He's going to take away some good points here on the Diamond Series, and he is well on his way to a championship title, but there's still a few more events to come. Nicholi Rogatkin, winner, Swatch Prime Line, here at the Munich Mash 2016. You guys can also, of course, check out all the Snapchat Swatch updates and stuff. Plus, if you want more information on the event itself, check out munich-mash.com. We also want to say special thanks to BR Puls and Süddeutsche Zeitung, our media partners here locally. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed the Swatch Prime Line, a diamond event here at the Munich Mash 2016 from the Olympic Park in Munich, Germany. A final bottle blow here, a selfie, and it's time to enjoy. Very nice. Yep, that stuff burns your eyes. There's no way of getting around it. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed our show. Delayed as it was, we managed to get you some incredible mountain bike action here at the Swatch Prime Line, the 2016 edition of the Munich Mash. Ryan Meyer, always a pleasure to be with you in the booth. Lots of fun.
Likewise, Troy, likewise.
We had some laughs.
Until next time.
We had some tears. I'm Troy Mannering for Ryan Meyer, signing off from Munich, saying thanks a lot for joining us, and we'll see you next year. Ciao, buddy.
Talk to you later.